10 subtle ways your friends are using you and how to deal with this problem. Friendships are one of life's greatest gifts. They provide us with joy, support, and the companionship we crave in a chaotic world. At their core, true friendships are built on mutual trust and respect, a balance of giving and receiving that enriches both lives. But not all friendships are as balanced as they appear. Some relationships can take a subtle, toxic turn, where one party exploits the other's goodwill. What makes these situations so difficult to detect is their quiet nature. Manipulation often wears a mask of normalcy. This isn't to suggest that every friend who asks for a favor is using you, or that the occasional misstep is malicious. We're all imperfect, and friendships naturally ebb and flow. However, when the imbalance becomes a pattern, when you feel more drained than uplifted, it's time to pause and reflect. Are you being valued, or are you merely being used? The purpose of this guide is not to sow distrust, but to help you recognize subtle red flags in friendships. It's about fostering awareness so you can make wise decisions about the relationships you nurture. While it's important to be kind and forgiving, it's equally vital to protect your energy and respect yourself. Approach these signs with a level head and a fair heart. Stoicism teaches us to judge actions, not intentions, and to remain calm in the face of discomfort. Use this wisdom to assess your friendships objectively. If you find evidence of imbalance, you owe it to yourself to take action, not in anger or haste, but with quiet dignity and firm resolve. After all, a wise person knows the value of their time and spirit and will not waste it on relationships that lack reciprocity. 1. Only contacting you when they need something. A true friendship thrives on mutual interest and shared experiences, but if a friend only appears when they need something, a favor, advice, or money, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. These interactions might initially seem harmless, even natural, but when they become the foundation of your connection, it's a sign of imbalance. Imagine a friend who calls you only to vent about their problems or ask for your help moving apartments. While you're happy to support them, you notice a pattern. Once their need is met, they disappear until the next crisis. Over time, this one-sided dynamic begins to weigh on you, leaving you feeling like a resource rather than a valued individual. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what we can control. You cannot control another's intentions, but you can control how you respond. Reflect on the friendship with honesty. Does this person engage with you for who you are, or merely for what you provide? If the latter, it's essential to recognize the pattern and decide how much energy you're willing to invest. A wise person values their time and energy, offering it to those who reciprocate. It doesn't mean cutting people off at the first sign of selfishness, but setting boundaries. Start by being less available for their requests and observe their reaction. Genuine friends will adjust, showing interest in your life. Those who are using you will likely fade away. Both outcomes bring clarity, allowing you to invest your energy where it is truly appreciated. 2. Never being available. When you need help or support. Friendship is a two-way street. While it's natural for one person to need more support at times, the overall balance should reflect mutual care. A friend who is consistently unavailable when you need help, yet expects you to be their rock, is demonstrating a concerning lack of reciprocity. Picture this scenario. You've been there for a friend through their tough breakup, offering a listening ear and advice late into the night. Months later, when you're struggling at work and reach out, they're too busy or dismissive of your struggles. Over time, these repeated absences erode trust and make you feel unvalued. In Stoic philosophy, relationships should foster harmony and growth. If someone constantly takes without giving back, they disrupt this balance. This doesn't mean expecting tit-for-tat gestures, but recognizing that a true friend will show up when it matters, even if it's inconvenient for them. Address the issue with quiet courage. Instead of making accusations, share how you feel. For example, "I've noticed I'm often there for you, but when I need help, it feels like you're unavailable. Can we talk about this?" Their response will reveal the depth of their care for you. If the imbalance persists, take solace in the wisdom that not all friendships are meant to last. Invest your energy in those who genuinely support you, remembering that you deserve relationships that uplift, not drain, your spirit. 3. Frequently cancelling plans, unless it's convenient for them. We all lead busy lives, and plans occasionally fall through. However, if a friend consistently cancels on you, unless it suits their convenience, it signals a lack of respect for your time and the relationship. Consider this. You've planned a coffee date, rearranged your schedule, and looked forward to catching up. Hours before meeting, they cancel, citing vague reasons or suggesting rescheduling at a time more convenient for them. This becomes a pattern, with them dictating the terms of your interactions. Over time, it feels as though your time and effort are inconsequential to them. A Stoic approach to such behavior involves recognizing what this says about their values. Actions, not words, reveal true character. If a friend repeatedly prioritizes their convenience over your shared commitments, they may not value the friendship as you do. Address the issue with calm firmness. Mention the pattern and how it affects you. "I've noticed plans are often cancelled, and it feels like my time isn't valued. Can we find a way to make our meetups work for both of us?" A genuine friend will acknowledge this and work to improve. Should they continue to prioritize convenience over commitment, take it as a sign to focus your time on relationships that respect and value you. Life is too short to waste on those who fail to recognize the importance of shared time and connection. 4. Manipulating you into feeling guilty to meet their demands. A true friend respects your choices and boundaries. However, someone who uses guilt to manipulate you into meeting their demands is exploiting your kindness. Guilt tripping is a subtle yet potent form of control that preys on your sense of obligation. Imagine this scenario. You've declined a favor because you're stretched too thin, but your friend responds with statements like, "I thought you were the one person I could count on," or, "If you really cared, you'd help me." These words aren't a genuine appeal. They're a tool to coerce you into compliance while disregarding your feelings or capacity. Stoic wisdom teaches us to separate what is in our control from what isn't. You cannot control someone else's attempt to manipulate, but you can control how you respond. Recognize that guilt tripping reflects their insecurity or self-centeredness. It is not a reflection of your worth or loyalty. When confronted with guilt-driven demands, pause and reflect. Are you saying yes because you want to, or because you feel coerced? Politely but firmly assert your boundaries. "I care about you, but I can't help this time. I hope you understand." A genuine friend will respect your limits. A manipulator may persist or react negatively, revealing their true intentions. Remember, your time and energy are precious. Stoicism reminds us to act in alignment with reason and integrity, not out of fear or guilt. By standing firm, you protect your sense of self and encourage healthier dynamics in all your relationships. 5. Borrowing money or items and never returning them. Lending a hand or a few dollars is a natural part of friendships. But when a friend repeatedly borrows money or items without returning them, it signals a deeper issue, a lack of respect for your trust and resources. Picture this: a friend frequently forgets to pay you back after borrowing money or holds on to things you've lent them indefinitely despite reminders. Over time, this pattern erodes trust and leaves you feeling used. While occasional forgetfulness is human, repeated occurrences suggest carelessness or entitlement. A Stoic approach involves managing your expectations. Marcus Aurelius advised us to act virtuously without expecting the same in return. However, there is wisdom in protecting yourself from exploitation. lending something with the expectation of never seeing it again can be freeing. It eliminates disappointment. That said, if the borrowing becomes a habit, it's crucial to address it. Communicate openly, yet calmly. I've noticed that when I lend you things, they don't always come back. Let's make sure this doesn't become a pattern. Observe their response. A genuine friend will apologize and make amends, while someone who is using you may become defensive or dismissive. In the future, consider limiting what you lend or setting clear terms. Protecting your resources doesn't make you selfish. It shows you value your own well-being. A wise person understands that trust, once broken, must be rebuilt with actions, not empty promises. 6. Taking credit for your ideas or accomplishments. True friends celebrate your achievements and acknowledge your contributions. However, some people subtly steal the spotlight, taking credit for your ideas or accomplishments. This behavior not only undermines your efforts, but also reveals their insecurity. Imagine working on a project together, pouring your heart into it, only for your friend to present it as their own during a meeting. Or perhaps you shared a creative idea in confidence, only to hear them recount it as their original thought in a group setting. While they may excuse it as harmless, it chips away at the trust in your relationship. Stoicism teaches us to remain indifferent to external validation and focus on internal integrity. While accolades are gratifying, they should never define your self-worth. Still, it's essential to address disrespect when it arises to preserve healthy dynamics. Call out the behavior tactfully. I noticed you mentioned the idea we discussed, but it wasn't clear it was something we worked on together. Watch their reaction. A true friend will acknowledge the oversight and correct it. Someone using you may downplay or justify their actions. Going forward, protect your ideas by setting boundaries. Share sensitive information selectively and clarify your expectations up front. Remember, recognition from others may fade, but the wisdom of acting with integrity remains. Value yourself enough to demand respect and seek friends who honor your efforts and contributions without envy or deceit. 7. Exploiting your skills or resources without reciprocation. A friendship should be a balance of giving and receiving, but some friends use your unique skills or resources for their own benefit without offering anything in return. While helping out occasionally is normal, constant exploitation indicates a lack of respect for your time and talents. Consider this. A friend frequently asks for free graphic design help, access to your network, or advice in your area of expertise. While they're quick to call when they need something, they rarely show interest in your life or offer to help in return. Over time, you begin to feel like a service provider rather than a valued friend. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the value of reciprocity in relationships. Epictetus reminds us to focus on what aligns with our values. If a friendship feels transactional, it may be time to reevaluate whether it reflects your principles. Helping others is virtuous, but not at the cost of being taken for granted. Set boundaries with clarity and grace. Politely decline unnecessary requests. I'd love to help, but I'm focusing on my own commitments right now. Observe how they respond. A true friend will understand and respect your time. Someone using you may push back or guilt trip you. Seek relationships where your generosity is matched by genuine appreciation and reciprocity. Your skills and resources are valuable, and a wise person shares them with those who respect and honor their worth. 8. Using you as an emotional dumping ground. Sharing emotions is a cornerstone of deep friendships, but it becomes problematic when one friend offloads their struggles while disregarding the other's feelings. If a friend consistently uses you as an emotional dumping ground, they may be taking advantage of your empathy. Imagine a friend who calls you after every argument with their partner, venting for hours without pausing to ask how you're doing. When you try to share your struggles, they quickly steer the conversation back to themselves or dismiss your concerns. Over time, this one-sided emotional exchange leaves you feeling drained and unimportant. Stoicism encourages us to remain calm in the face of others' emotions, but it also reminds us to protect our own peace. You can't pour from an empty cup. If a friendship becomes an emotional burden, it's time to set limits. Gently bring up the imbalance. I value our talks, but I've noticed we mostly focus on your challenges. I'd love for us to support each other more evenly. A genuine friend will appreciate this and adjust their behavior. If not, consider how much energy you want to invest in the relationship. Prioritize your emotional well-being by seeking friendships where support flows both ways. A wise person knows that true connection involves listening as much as sharing and values relationships that nourish rather than deplete their spirit. 9. Being excessively competitive or jealous. Healthy friendships celebrate mutual success, but when a friend is overly competitive or subtly jealous, it undermines the relationship. This behavior often manifests as backhanded compliments, subtle one-upmanship, or minimizing your achievements. Picture this: you share exciting news about a promotion, only for your friend to respond with, "That's great, but my new role has way more perks." Or perhaps they point out minor flaws in your accomplishments like, "Congrats on your marathon. I bet you'd do even better if you trained like I do." These comments leave you feeling deflated instead of celebrated. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own progress and not compare ourselves to others. However, it also emphasizes the importance of surrounding ourselves with people who uplift us. A competitive or jealous friend often projects their insecurities, creating an environment that stifles rather than supports. Address the behavior calmly. I've noticed that when I share my successes, the conversation shifts to comparisons. "I value your input, but I'd also love to feel celebrated." A true friend will acknowledge this and make an effort to change. Seek friends who share your joys and motivate you to grow. True strength lies in fostering relationships that encourage collaboration and mutual respect, not competition. 10. Showing a lack of interest in your life. Friendship is a shared journey, but when a friend shows little interest in your life unless it benefits them, it reflects a lack of genuine care. This behavior often manifests as shallow conversations, forgetfulness about important details, or steering discussions toward their needs. Imagine sharing exciting news about a personal milestone, only for your friend to reply with a distracted, "That's nice," before launching into their own stories. Or worse, they only seem engaged when they need something from you. Over time, this disregard for your experiences can make the relationship feel hollow. A Stoic perspective encourages self-respect and the pursuit of meaningful connections. Marcus Aurelius advised focusing on what enriches our lives and letting go of what doesn't. If a friend consistently shows disinterest, ask yourself whether their presence aligns with your values. Raise the issue tactfully. I've noticed that we don't talk much about what's happening in my life. I'd love for us to connect more deeply. Their response will reveal their true investment in the friendship. Invest your energy in relationships where mutual interest and care are evident. Surround yourself with friends who not only hear you but truly listen, for such connections are the foundation of a fulfilling life. A wise person values relationships that honor both parties, fostering growth and connection in equal measure. Solutions and how to handle the situation. Recognizing subtle signs of being used is the first step, but addressing these behaviors requires courage, clarity, and self-respect. Friendships are meant to nurture and uplift, not drain your energy or diminish your worth. Here are constructive ways to handle these situations while preserving your peace and dignity. 1. Recognize patterns and reflect on the relationship's balance. Begin by observing the dynamics of the relationship. Is it consistently one-sided, with you giving more than you receive? Are you left feeling unappreciated or invisible? Reflection, a key Stoic practice, helps you detach from emotions and assess the situation rationally. Journaling your experiences can bring clarity and highlight recurring patterns that might have gone unnoticed. 2. Set clear boundaries and communicate openly. Boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. Politely but firmly communicate your feelings and needs. For example, if a friend frequently cancels plans, say, "I value our time together and would appreciate more commitment to our meetups." Setting boundaries doesn't make you unkind, it shows you respect yourself. 3. Test the friendship. If you're unsure of their intentions, test the relationship by asking for support. A genuine friend will rise to the occasion, while someone using you may find excuses or deflect. For instance, ask for help with a task you typically handle for them and observe their reaction. This small test often reveals the true depth of their care. 4. Practice self-care and redirect your energy. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it's essential. Engage in hobbies, pursue personal goals, and build connections with those who truly value you. Surrounding yourself with supportive, positive people will naturally help you distance yourself from toxic dynamics. Remember, a wise person prioritizes their well-being and avoids relationships that drain their spirit. 5. Seek support if needed. If these situations weigh heavily on you, seek counsel from trusted friends or a professional. Sometimes, an objective perspective can provide insight and strength. Discussing your feelings openly can help you make decisions with clarity and confidence. By addressing these issues with calm resolve and self-respect, you honor your own worth. Stoicism teaches us to act with integrity and align our actions with our values. You have the power to choose relationships that reflect mutual respect and care, creating space for those who truly deserve a place in your life. Friendships are among the most enriching parts of life, but only when they are built on respect, trust, and reciprocity. Recognizing the subtle ways someone might be using you is not about fostering suspicion, but about ensuring your relationships are healthy and balanced. As you navigate these dynamics, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Focus on what you can control: your actions, your boundaries, and your choices. Let go of relationships that undermine your peace and invest in those that uplift and inspire you. By valuing yourself, you naturally attract connections that reflect that value. Ultimately, the strength of a friendship lies not in its longevity, but in its quality. Prioritize relationships that honor mutual growth, kindness, and respect. True friends will celebrate your successes, support you in struggles, and cherish you for who you are, not for what you can provide. A wise life is one surrounded by meaningful connections, and you deserve nothing less. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more wisdom and insights. Your support helps us create content that inspires and empowers. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you experienced any of these subtle signs in your friendships? Share your takeaways or personal stories in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and help each other build stronger, healthier connections.